Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shireen, aka Cher, and guys, I'm back with another video. And in today's video, guys, I'll be showing you how to cut a basic school blouse. This video will actually be two parts. So in part one, I'll show you how to cut the blouse out, and in part two, I'll show you how to sew it up together. So guys, if you're interested in seeing how I go about doing this, stay tuned. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at iam876 fab_hereby_share for more dope videos. And also guys, keep your post notification bell on so you'll know each time I post a video. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this video. Okay guys, so here's the fabric that I'll be working with. And the first thing that we're supposed to do, we are going to do, is to press the fabric out. I'm actually doing this on my bed, guys, so I'm hoping you will be seeing how I draft the pattern up clearly. So yeah guys, I'm going to be pressing the fabric out. I'm going to do that off camera, and you're going to need some measurements. So I have the measurements here in my book. So the measurements that we're going to need are, okay, the measurements are, we're going to need the bust measurement and the chest measurement, the cross back measurement, the shoulder, the sleeve length, and the measurement for the blouse. So it would be the blouse length. So we're going to need all of those measurements to cut out the blouse. So I have them all written down here in my book, and what I'm going to do guys is I'm going to be dividing the bust measurement by 2. I'm going to be doing it in 2, and I'm going to be using that to do the blouse. So the shoulder measurement that I'm showing you guys is from your shoulder there that I'll just touch to the from here to here. That's the shoulder, and you go around for the width of the sleeve of the blouse. So this is the measurement here. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So I'm just going to get into this right now. All right, so I'm gonna, as I said, I'm going to be dividing the bust measurement by 2, and I'm going to add an allowance of 1 inch on everything that I do. All right, you want to have the fabric laying out like this. So you're going to have it folded like this. This side I'm holding is the selvage so that end won't freeze out. The other side to the end of the bed down below there is the raw edge. So first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting the back of the blouse first, and I'm going to use the back to cut the front. So I'm measuring, I can see, you guys can barely see when I was editing, I'm measuring now 3 inches across at the top of the fabric, and I'm measuring 1.5 inches down. I'm just going to use the pencil, I'm using a pencil guys, to just trace a semicircle. And then I'm going to do her shoulder. Her shoulder is 4.5 inches, so I'm going to cut it with 1 inch. So it's going to be 4.5 with 1 inch. That's 5.5 inches across that I just did. And now I'm going to be cutting the cross back. So the cross back measurement guys is from one shoulder blade to the other shoulder blade. So her measurement for the cross back is 10.5. So 10.5, and I'm going to add an allowance of 1 inch, so I'm going to be cutting that at 11, and it's 10.5 guys. So the material is double, so I can't cut it at 10.5. I have to cut it like at 5.5, so that would give you 11 plus 1 inch, so that would be 6.5 across right there. So yeah. So after doing that now, I am going, so remember you use the bust measurement to cut the fabric, to cut the blouse. All right. And you also use, what I'm doing now is measuring the length of the blouse. The length of the blouse is 26 26 inches, and I'm just gonna add like an inch on that, so it's 27. Like drawing a line right there for the length of the blouse. So I am now going to be cutting the armpit. So to cut the armpit, guys, we are going to use the bust measurement also. So for your armpit, it's like 9 inches for adults. For kids it would be like 7 inches, 8 inches, depending on how fat or how sturdy the person is. So I'm using 9 inches here on this blouse. So I'm going to just go ahead now and trace this line down from the armpit to the length of the blouse. And again, guys, you use the bust measurement. That's a bust measurement to get the measurement for the armpit. All right, and our bust is 32 inches, and the fabric is folded in 2 pieces. So you know one side has to be 8 inches, the other side has to be 8 inches, and you add an allowance of 1 inch, so it would be 9 inches. So the inch allowance is for the sewing. That's where I'm going to sew. And I'm just tracing the line down. What I'm actually doing, guys, is making a pattern, but I can see the pencil marking is very, very light, so you can hardly see. But just look and see what I'm doing, and see when I cut it out how it turns out. So I'm just using a pencil and my tape measure to make a straight line down, and this is actually the pattern for the back of the blouse, and I am going to go ahead now and cut it out. Alright, just to add, guys, when you're cutting out a fabric, try not to lift the fabric. Keep it flat on whatever you're cutting it on and just cut it out. Okay, guys, so this is the front of the blouse. So right here, I'm just going to cut this area that I made, and this is the back, guys. This is the back of the blouse, and there we go. This is the back section of the blouse, and what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to use the back part of the blouse to cut the front. So to cut the front of the blouse, I am going to be doubling the fabric into 2, and then I'm going to fold it over again and place the back 1 inch away from the front, because we're going to be using buttons at the front. So the 1 inch that I'm going to place away from the back, that's where we're going to place our button. That's where we're going to have our buttonholes. All right, so here I am with the fabric. So I have both sides together, the selvages are together, and I'm turning it over like so. Can turn it like about 3 inches over, and then I am going to place the top part of the turn, guys, can be a bit wider than the bottom section of the turn. I'm just going to use the back part, sorry, of the blouse to be placed on the front of the blouse. So you use the back to cut the front, all right, because the back of the blouse is normally bigger than the front. So cutting the front. So here I am placing the front 1 inch away. As you can see, that little allowance that is left off right there. Hope you guys can see. And you want to have the fabric laying flat. And here's the deal now, guys. On the front, remember when I just started, I cut 3 inches down and 1.5 inches across. This time I'm going to cut it a bit further down, like, no, it was 3 inches across and 1.5 inches down, sorry. This time I'm not going to be cutting it 1.5 inches down. I'm going to cut it like about 3 inches down. So the front is going to be deeper, have a deeper cut than the back. All right, so here we go, cutting out the front now. Okay, so right here now guys, I'm gonna be cutting it a bit longer than the back area. So you see me lifting up this area. I'm just using a book to hold it down, and I am cutting this like not an inch and a half, but like 3.5 inches down, so the front area will be deeper than the back. So see me put the back over on it, and I'm just going to continue to cut across, and yep, that's the front and the back of the blouse. I'm just going to show you the front. So there you go, that turn you have there, see it's a bit deeper right there, and I'm just going to fold it over to show you when you make the blouse, that will be the turn right there. All right, so that's it for the back and the front of the blouse, and I'm now going to start to cut the sleeves. When you're cutting the sleeve guys, you're going to need the sleeve measurement. So her sleeve measurement is 9 inches, and around her arm is 12 inches. So I'm going to take my fabric, and when you're cutting the sleeve, you can cut both sleeves at the same time, as well as you can cut them separate. So I will be cutting them separate. So what I'm doing, I'm folding the fabric. I'm making sure that it is like in width, it is like more than 6 inches in width, because the wrist area around her arm is 12 inches. So I want it to be 12 inches and with a little allowance over, so say 13. So here that I'm measuring is like 7 inches across, so that's good for me to make her blouse, to cut the sleeve. So her sleeve length is 9 inches, so I'm measuring 9 inches down, and I'm just marking with my pencil and drawing a straight line to make sure that everything is even. And then I'm going to check it to make sure that it's 9 inches, and I'm going to cut that little part off at the top right there. So I'm making a straight line also, and then I'm going to start cutting the sleeve. So to cut the sleeve guys, I'm going to measure the arm length, which is 9 inches, and you want to just cut that into a kind of S, and I'm just going to draw this out. You guys not seeing clearly, but you just look what I'm doing guys. So it's kind of a slant S, not so much of a deep S, and I'm going to just use my tape measure to, I'm just going to cut, not my tape measure. So I'm cutting this out, and after I cut this sleeve out, I'm going to use this pattern that I cut out to cut the other sleeve. So it's just a slight curve, not even like an S, it's like a slight curve. So there you go, that's the sleeve guys. So I'm gonna use this sleeve to cut the other sleeve, just like how I did just now, how I placed the back of the blouse onto the front and cut the front. But this time I won't be leaving any allowance on the sleeve, because you want both sleeves to be the same size. So I'm placing the sleeve that I just cut on another piece of the fabric, and I'm just cutting the other sleeve. And after doing this, I'm just going to cut the collar for the blouse. All right, so I'm putting a notch right here, and there you go guys, those are both sleeves that I just cut. So we have our sleeves, the back of the blouse and the front of the blouse so far, and now I am going to be cutting the collar. I'm just going to cut off these little pieces of fabric that are hanging out. I want the material to be straight. I don't really know the measurement of the sleeve as yet guys, but I'm just going to cut a sleeve and just show you guys how to cut the sleeve. When you stitch the blouse up, that's the time you get the sleeve measurement. Sleeve measurements are normally like 11 to 13 inches, or sometimes longer. So I'm just going to cut a sleeve. I'm going to cut it like 3.5 inches, You can cut it smaller depending on how you want your blouse. The normal size that I learned in school is like 3 inches or 3.5 inches. So I'm measuring 3.5 inches in now. 3 or 3.5 inches. And then I'm just going to cut the sleeve, the collar. Pardon me, my bad, not the sleeve. I cut the sleeve already. I'm going to cut the collar out. So I'm measuring the length. So I'm making this a bit longer than probably 13, just in case, to be on the safe side. And then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm just going to put a slant at the top part of the collar, being that it's a school blouse that I'm making. Alright, so you guys can hardly see, so I'm just pulling the fabric down a bit and I'm cutting this out. And there, so I'm just gonna fold it in two now, and I'm just going to cut the edge of the fabric, not the, yes, see, I'm measuring to see how much it measures. It's way longer than 13 inches. I'm just going to cut right there in a little slant. And that's it, guys. That's it. So that's the color. So guys, if you like this video, give the video a thumbs up. Remember to stay tuned for part 2, where I'll be showing you how to sew this garment up, and I'm also going to be showing you how I sew the uniform for this blouse up. I'm going to show you how I cut it out as well. So look out for that video, guys. If you like the video, guys, give the video a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe. So here you have the collar, you have the sleeve, and you have the back and the front of the blouse. So guys, until my next video, guys, I am out. Remember, guys, to keep your post notification bell on. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, bye guys.